Hey guys, there was some huge news yesterday. What was that huge news, Joshua?
Young Justice is coming back for season 3.
That's right. Young Justice returning for season 3, a miraculous season 3. I think suffice to say that we are very excited about this. We know a lot of you are very excited about this. But there was something that I was not alone in thinking about once this news came out, which is, isn't it funny? Young Justice is coming back, and very recently on the CW, we met Miss Martian on Supergirl. Wally became Kid Flash on The Flash, and Artemis was introduced on Arrow. And it was like, is that just coincidence? Or is there some synergy at work behind the scenes? We don't know the answer to that, by the way, but we do want to discuss, should CW do a live-action version of Young Justice now that they have been building up so many of these characters?
Look, it was a miracle that we got the animated show back.
Right.
Now you're just asking too much.
I want it all. I want it all. Don't stop.
I want to hear, like, what's your pitch? Like, why do you think this is a good idea?
I think it could be cool. We threw into this image Roy, of course, as well as Arsenal, who's not been around lately, but is still out there in the universe, could come back. Has another person who is very familiar to Young Justice fans. I like the idea. I mean, Young Justice is very appealing. The young sort of plucky group of heroes, and also we were talking about the fact that Legends of Tomorrow is already the team show that CW has, but they're a very specific team show because it's a whole time travel element. It's space and time and the space-time continuum. We don't really just have a superhero team, and I think there's always the relatable aspect of the young superheroes working together and their infighting and their love and working that. So I now that looking at this image of them all, I go, I'd watch that show. That'd be a cool group.
Well, you keep saying like young, but my problem is that the young heroes don't really exist in the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
So I don't think you could really do, like, the concept of Young Justice, the animated show, is that it's sort of like, it's these younger heroes who are essentially like a secret Justice League going on like kind of Black Ops missions, but the main Justice League can't do for whatever reason.
Right.
That dynamic doesn't exist because, like you said, Legends is the only team show, and they're time traveling. They don't need like this other like kind of sub Justice League helping them out, like the Teen Titans-esque. So essentially, what we'd be getting is Teen Titans, but like I said, none of these people are actually teenagers. I think Artemis, you were telling me, is essentially a teenager,
right?
Even though she's much older, the actress. And everyone else seems like they're out of college. They're not young anymore. They're not teens. So if anything, this would be just like a Titans show. Yeah,
I mean, I think Wally is supposed to be like college age, but there's definitely, they are not the like 16-year-old sort of high school age Young Justice, and so if they use these characters, if they did another spin-off, you'd kind of have to accept that you wouldn't be getting the Young Justice as it is in the animated series, or even really the Teen Titans. It would be sort of an amalgam of Young Justice concept or the Titans. But I guess I'm more accepting of that, even though, it's always that thing of like, how far can you bend something from its original concept before it doesn't seem like the original concept? But I still think, if you could accept that, it could still be a fun dynamic to have these characters bouncing off each other. I was saying, like, look, if Arsenal didn't come back, I guess you could maybe involve Speedy instead.
Yeah.
And clearly they could also introduce more people. I mean, Cadmus is on Supergirl. We're already wondering, Superboy, could that happen? Could they introduce Aqualad? I still am guessing that Robin and Nightwing are off limits, but you never know. We never thought we'd get Superman.
That is actually the one thing that would change my mind, because I'm kind of against this idea, as you can tell. But if they were to introduce Robin/Nightwing, I'd be down. I'd be like, that's so big, and he's such an integral part to like the Young Justice concept, I feel. That I feel like if they were to bring that to live action, that would be just too good to pass up. And I could really see like him being sort of like a focal point for these other heroes, like rallying around him, and him being sort of like the team leader, and that I'm really into. It makes me very happy, and I would forgive everything else I just said.
And that would be interesting. And again, we never know what's going on behind the scenes at DC and Warner Brothers and how much protective they're being of things. Look, right now in the DC movie universe, all we know is there's a dead Robin. We don't even know who he is. We don't know if Dick Grayson's still out there, but now he's a grizzled Nightwing. I would make the argument, DC and Warner Brothers, like, hey, you can introduce a younger, again, he wouldn't be like 15-year-old Robin, but you can introduce like your 21-year-old version of Robin or Nightwing on this show, make him the leader, and it would be a radically different version of anything they might do in the movies right now, which I think is probably why Superman was sort of acceptable to them. It's like it was so different, whether you think it was better or worse, it was different. So yes, that would be very exciting to me too. Like I said, I'm already intrigued by the idea, but I think Robin, Nightwing, that's you sold, you know. I think a lot of people would be like you on that. You know, if you get that character you're in. My last thing I'll ask is, you know, there's all this question of like oversaturation with superheroes and whatnot, and even on the CW. There's 4 shows now that run on 4 nights, and people joke like, hey, Friday nights they don't have one. Do you think that this could, you know, be another like 23 episode show, or I'm already going to lean into what I think here. Maybe a shorter run would work for something like this.
Yeah, I'm actually into shorter seasons just across the board. Like, you know, 10 episodes of Game of Thrones is like just right. Right. 23 episodes, even in these shows, as much as I love like The Flash, like there is a lot of fat there sometimes, and things kind of get drawn out where they don't need to be. So I'm all for like a shorter season, maybe to try it out, sort of like an event series of like something, literally all the other heroes, something has happened to them, and then these younger heroes that are coming together to do something.
Heroes.
Kind of, you know, maybe like a Defenders kind of thing, like do like an event series.
Yeah.
Try it out.
I agree. So that's what we're saying, CW and Warner Brothers. 10-episode event series. Get Robin in there somehow. Get Dick Grayson in there.
I think you just convinced me that I want to see this.
See? That's power. But let us know what you think in the comments. Would you like to see a live-action version of Young Justice using these characters the CW is establishing and more? Let us know in the comments. And for much more on all things Young Justice and DC and CW, keep it here at IGN.